September is Lymphoma Awareness Month, and it's an important time to talk about both the people fighting this type of cancer and the people who are at the forefront of finding the latest treatments. I want to welcome now one of those pioneers, Dr. John Timmerman from UCLA. Thank you so much for being with us.
Happy to be here.
Okay, so tell me what the difference is between lymphoma or leukemia, blood cancer, and other types of cancers.
Right. So blood cancers, which include lymphoma, leukemias, and multiple myeloma, are a wide variety of cancers. There's about 60 different types. And these are cancers that arise in our own white blood cells, sort of naturally as part of our immune system develops. These aren't caused by something that you did or didn't do or ate or didn't eat, but rather by the natural sort of word processing errors that are made in the genes of our white blood cells as they're roaming around looking to fight infections in our bodies.
It is a good way to illustrate that, right? And they're kind of diffuse, right? It's not like a normal cancer where maybe it's concentrated in one area. It could move anywhere around the body and you're looking for it all the time.
Correct. Like a white blood cell, its normal job is to travel through the body looking for infection. So if one of those becomes cancerous, you can find it anywhere in the body. For instance, a lymphoma can occur in any organ, in any place in the body, even in the brain. And that's why it's important to understand that for lymphomas, when they arise, many times they're in advanced stages. It can be stage 4, but that can still be highly treatable because our treatments work everywhere in the body. We don't treat lymphomas for that reason with surgery because we can't just cut out one spot. The cells are kind of roaming around, but luckily our treatments roam around too, everywhere in the body, and they can fight it wherever it is.
And you have been at the forefront of research at UCLA in terms of treatment, and treatment for lymphoma actually was a pioneering method in all cancers, right?
Yes. The first successful treatments for any type of advanced cancer, say stage 4 cancer, was for lymphoma, particularly first Hodgkin lymphoma. In the 1970s, they developed chemotherapy combinations that could cure advanced disease. Up until that time, nobody really thought that advanced cancer could be cured. And that gave hope that other types of cancers could be treated in the same way. So then combination chemotherapy came around for breast cancer, other types of cancer, and that became the standard of care. So lymphoma has really led the way in many different types of treatments. Later on, after that period, even in the 1990s, we had the advent of monoclonal antibodies, and more recently in the last 10 years, very potent kinds of immunotherapy, such as CAR T cells and bispecific antibodies. And these are, once again, successes that have led the way to be applied to other types of cancer.
And these breakthroughs are happening every day, and a lot of them here locally at UCLA.
Yeah. We have found through many clinical trials, very exciting new research where we're curing patients that weren't curable before. We're treating patients without the side effects of chemotherapy that we haven't seen in the past. So this is very exciting to be part of these clinical trials. And one of the messages with lymphoma and really any cancer is to be part of some of these clinical research efforts. The best way to get access to the most modern treatments is to join a clinical trial. And not every patient needs to do that. Sometimes we have very standard treatments that the patient doesn't need to join a clinical trial. But if you're encouraged to do that by your doctor, I think it's something that people should take very seriously and consider.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference for so many people. And it is Awareness Month, so we want to talk about being able to spot it, being able to find it. It's kind of a tricky cancer, right?
It can be tricky, and many times people find that they're asymptomatic. The most common thing that they find for lymphoma is, say, a lump somewhere in the neck, under the arm, in the groin area. They may also feel just not right. They may feel like something is keep making them very tired, or just losing energy or appetite. Sometimes there can be symptoms of sweats, like especially night sweats. Hodgkin lymphoma has this famous symptom of being very itchy, causing people to feel itchy. So these are the kind of symptoms. One of the things that's interesting about the lumps and the lymph nodes is that they may not be painful. They may just be very painless, and a painless lymph node is something that you should tell your doctor about. Not like a sore gland that you get in your neck after a cold. Those are generally normal, but it can be painless, and that sometimes can be misleading. And
tell people where to find lymph nodes, because a lot of people don't know how to check their lymph nodes or where they are.
So our lymph nodes, or lymph glands as we call them, are in all the places where we meet the outside. So they're in our neck that takes care of our throat. They can be behind or in the front, then underneath our arms, the areas that drain our whole arm, underneath our arms, and in the groin area. So these are the places where we have lymph nodes are throughout our body, but these are the where you're going to feel them. So many times people say, oh, I've got this lump under here that I didn't have before, and it's not going away. It's been there for a few weeks, a few months.
A few years sometimes?
A few years sometimes, yes, it can be.
Okay, and you know, when people are diagnosed, all kinds of people step forward. They have well-meaning advice. They are trying to research different cures and different ways to heal their loved ones. But you want to make a point, to be clear, to go to a professional.
Yes. The first thing we do is to tell them not to Google lymphoma. But they've already done that. It's
right.
Sort of a joke, right? And we tell them to go to trusted sources like the websites of the Lymphoma Research Foundation or the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Those are the two trusted places where professionals like myself and others write articles that are specifically about their disease. And then we also tell them to get support from their family and friends, but not to take lots of crazy supplements and follow lots of lay advice. There's lots of misinformation, disinformation about lymphoma and its treatments. And we want them to kind of tune that out and listen to their doctors. Get support from their family, but not have their family try to act as doctors for them.
Yeah, and it's hard for the people, for loved ones too, families going through it who really want to help and they feel helpless.
Yeah, I think it's important for people to come, be a source of support, help take notes during visits, and to be there for you, but to not try to buy into every little piece of information that comes along that they read about on the internet, because not everything you read is true.
Good point, especially on social media.
Right.
All right, Dr. Timmerman, thank you. We want you to stay with us. But I have something today I want to share with you, our viewers. It is truly a privilege to be invited into your homes every morning and to deliver news that matters to Southern Californians, to tell meaningful stories, and to hopefully make an impact that changes lives. So today I have decided to share with you that I am one of the estimated 80,000 Americans to be diagnosed with non-Hodgkin lymphoma this year. Dr. Timmerman isn't just a doctor we invited on the show, he is my oncologist. And while I'm usually of the mind that personal matters belong off camera, I personally have found great comfort in seeing others living with and overcoming the disease. So whether you're the one going through the shock of a recent diagnosis or you're feeling helpless watching a loved one struggle, know that you are not alone. I know firsthand the system at times feels impossible to navigate. I understand that fear, that confusion, that sadness that comes with the diagnosis. But I want you to know that help is available. So we at KCAL are committed to being a resource for you. We have created a page on our website, kcalnews.com/cancer. It is dedicated to providing answers, resources, and support. For me, this was an unexpected challenge, to say the least, but I have never been one to back down from a challenge. I will still be with you every morning. I'm not going anywhere, and this will not limit me. I still have a lot of life to live and much to contribute to the world, and I know my best days are ahead of me. In fact, the ability to move through life consciously and with appreciation for every day is a gift. When we come back, we're going to continue this conversation with a therapist from Beyond Cancer LA. She'll join us to talk about coping with a cancer diagnosis, support, and most importantly, finding hope. We'll be right back.